Has anybody gone to any mountain top and heard the noise of the village? No, right? Because at that vantage point, you don't hear anything because they're silent. Why don't you take a pause and say, probably he is not telling about my physical position in the chair. Maybe he's talking about my mental state of mind. How many of you thought like that? None of you, right? That means we reacted. We responded immediately. I want you to think before you even answer. I want you to take a step back. Get into that point. Because originally our home state is peace. So we don't need to do much efforts. And I am telling you, you will have heard Raj Yoga meditation, you have heard different types of meditation. I have taken more than 400 sessions in Infosys on meditation without talking about soul and Supreme Soul.
Sunday Talk at Shanti Sarovar.
Shanti Sarovar, the premises we are sitting at, is the biggest retreat center of Brahma Kumaris in India, and here we conduct many workshops, seminars and meditation camps. So please take advantages of those because you are nearby, and we are lucky to have this center in our surrounding, right? Now coming to the topic of today's session, the power of the pause. So I don't know about all of you, but I found myself reacting instead of responding to many situations, many of the times. And the key to switch between reacting to responding is the pause. So I'm looking forward to learning for myself from this session today. And we are privileged that today our speaker who is joining us is beautifully bridging corporate excellence with professional depth. Corporate excellence and spiritual knowledge. With over 25 years of experience in IT learning and development, including 21 years at Infosys, he has spent decades helping professionals navigate through high-pressure, fast-paced environment. Alongside his corporate journey as a lifelong learner of 32 years of Raj Yoga meditation at Brahma Kumaris, he brings deep insight into soul consciousness and inner strength. Please put your hands together to welcome our today's speaker, Brijesh Chawla Bhaiji, to lead us to this session.
Thank you, Sister Jyoti. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Like Sister asked, I'll take a pause and ask another question. What are the number of times you have visited Shanti Sarovar? You can just raise your hand and a silent gesture. 1, like the brother can say he's coming for the first time. So 1, 2, 3, yes? 10 times, more than 10 times. Good. We'll take 2 moments today to come in a different way. Every time you come with the body, you come with the whole baggage of your thoughts. Good thoughts, nice thoughts, wonderful thoughts, and weekend thoughts, and you've really relaxed. And there are some, not so good thoughts, tomorrow being Monday, some mails to be entered. Yeah? But let me request you to pause. And most of you who've come more than 5 times, 10 times, you will have understood that the most important point is the point of silence. We are all those silent entities And we are just points, point sources of light energy, right? In fact, this energy is what runs the entire ecosystem. You agree? As we rise, many of us in our professions also, especially in IT, telecom, we understand that the technology is becoming so refined that gadgets are becoming miniature. With AI, tomorrow you will not even have a mobile phone. Do you know what will happen? You know, if you didn't know, my favorite topic in Infosys and elsewhere has been real intelligence over artificial intelligence. And believe me, it will be in front of your eyes, or probably your next generation will not see these heavy gadgets, not see that bag or baggage of load. They have information overload, but it will be not at their fingertips. It will be blink of their eye, which means your spectacles will become your screen. And it has actually become today. Many of you will have understood, right? Google Lens. Your rings will become payment methodologies. You just tap and your payment is done. Your earrings will become your headphones. And probably the pendant that you wear here will become your mic. But is that what the technology is going towards? No, it is actually going towards cognitive technology also. You know what is cognitive technology? It will be embedded with humans. Even in artificial intelligence, people are scared. The founders of artificial intelligence are scared. If we allow the machine and the agents to work on its own, we don't know what havoc they'll do. So they said, human in the loop is very important. Human intervention is very important. So the next mode of telecommunication will be cognitive, where they will implant some chips. And people have started doing that also, correct? And curing many diseases. But what next? The next technology is the age old technology which Indians knew. And in fact, the world over, everybody knows. Can you guess? Make a guess. Telepathy. And today, let's see if we can have that telepathic connection with small pauses. And not just with the Supreme, not just with our near and dear ones, with our own self. Why I am here? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Here, as in not just in this campus, not just in this room, in this world, in this body. So, can I request all of you to just take a moment? You might want to look at the point or the inner circle. The outer circle is the periphery, and the circle outside that is also your environment. Okay. So try to see if you are keeping your eyes open. If you are trying to keep your eyes closed, it will be little more difficult also. But try that also. You're going outside the campus, you got ready, but as soon as you enter the campus, as soon as you come inside the room, you are coming as a point of very peaceful energy. And as much as possible, without any thoughts, with a blank mind. And believe me, I am going to choose some telepathic friends here who will answer my question. While you will get the answers in my talk itself, but my telepathic friends will actually Answer some questions, also some answer to some questions. And you see how it works. Let this journey of meditation be a unique one for you. So I welcome all of you to sit in any comfortable position that you are. And does anybody need a pillow? I don't need a pillow. Okay. And yes, a smile on the face will actually lighten your. In fact, you look wonderful. You look beautiful. You know, one of the best ways to beautify your face is smile. So, gentle smile will stretch your muscles here, but a frown stretches thousands of muscles, and that eats away your energy. So, let's just take 1 or 2 minutes, just 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then, switch on the lights. No noise, nothing. You're just pulling yourself. The outer circle. Outer circle is you've seen this, you've seen the traffic, you've heard the noise, everything. All the sensory organs, you're trying to bring it together. I am not the organs. I am not the noise outside. I am not the taste and the smell that I felt outside. I am the peace. I am that point of light. The inner circle is also about your body. I'm a girl, I'm a boy, I'm a lady, I'm an engineer, I'm a project manager, I'm a director. No. My original nature is peace. My home state is peace, which comes from this pause. Can you help? I have kept the pointer somewhere. I think in that table. Okay, thank you. So, how many of you were really able to bring yourself to the consciousness of the point? But you felt peaceful without any thoughts? Definitely? Yes. But I promise you, before the end of the session, the rest of you will actually feel that 1 minute of silence. And today, in this session, we will see how we can do that. We will practice it. We literally do. We might use music. We might use Q&A. We might use some interactions. Let it be very interactive. Okay. So my first question to you is, when you're going uphill, okay, which is the most powerful check that you need to do in your vehicle? What's your name? Siddharth says brakes. Anybody else? Fuel. Okay. What's your name? Padmavati. Yes. Anybody? Pardon? Air pressure in the tires. Absolutely. Every basic check. You must be a CEO of the company. Okay? Or you must be running your own business. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Does anybody have any last answer? And I hope all these sessions are conducted in English, or do you want me to include Hindi in between? Is English okay with everybody? Okay. Siddharth is my first best friend, while all of you are right. But when you go uphill, Imagine if you don't have a proper brake, especially when you are taken. And when I said uphill, when you're taking a turn, and there is always a blind spot, right? And especially when you have the curve. Our headquarters is in Mount Abu. So we have every year we experience this. When we take a turn, and sometimes it's intuition which tells us that there's another vehicle coming. And nick of time, you have to apply brakes. Correct? Yes? While all of you are right, but the most important check, if you've seen, especially in those curves, and especially when you go uphill or the slopes, check your brakes. 3-letter word. Let's consider we are growing, we are progressing, we are climbing uphill to our goal. We speed, we have a flurry of emails, we have so many interactions, even at home. We progress. We get married, we have a wonderful husband, a wonderful spouse. Okay, ladies will have a wonderful husband, gents will have a wonderful life partner. Then you have children, then you have another responsibility, and you become the boss of the child. Then the child gets married, then there's another responsibility, correct? Right? But while you are going uphill, that is, while you are progressing, you come into interactions. There are many times you have to immediately reply. In today's world, especially in this IT world, how many of you are in IT? Okay, few of you. But it's just not IT. Let's take Hyderabad for that matter of fact. It's also becoming like Bangalore, it's becoming like Mumbai, and it's becoming a very fast paced world. In this fast paced world, everybody wants to rush. Correct? And it's not just the rush of the vehicles, it's not just the rush of replying to emails. It's the reaction that we want to without having a pause. Correct? Let me invite you now to take a small pause, to promise yourself to take a small pause before you reply, before you start, and this small pause could be as small as a microsecond. Who can tell the importance of a second? The person who drives a Ferrari, right? Or the person who is actually driving a fighter pilot, right? He knows the importance of a small second. In fact, many of us also, especially when the milk is on the stove and it's just about to, come out of the vessel, and you can see that. So that's also, just a little 1 second delay also, you will have to wash the whole floor. So sometimes we make use of those. And imagine if we don't do that. Somebody has just told, okay, just imagine if I just tell all of you sitting wonderfully, just imagine just one of you, while I see many people, one of you, I tell, you're not sitting properly. If I just say that, you will immediately either change your position or you will reply to me immediately, correct? Why don't you take a pause and say, probably he is not telling about my physical position in the chair. Maybe he's talking about my mental state of mind. How many of you thought like that? None of you, right? That means we reacted. We responded immediately. I want you to think before you even answer, I want you to take a step back, get into that point, because originally our home state is peace. So we don't need to do much efforts. And I'm telling you, you will have heard Raj Yoga meditation, you have heard different types of meditation. I have taken more than 400 sessions in Infosys on meditation without talking about soul and supreme soul, which I learnt from our seniors, not just in Brahma Kumaris, but in other spiritual schools of thoughts, and a few yogis, who are not just sitting in Himalayas, but who are actually running a business like a CEO. And they are a CEO of some IT organizations. They choose to respond differently. I'll give you an example. Okay. There was this gentleman, he was heading this organization, in fact, my organization, and everybody came up with the problem. And there were as many people. And all these people were the next level they were heading. In fact, this is the company. Infosys is the company. And I was the youngest among them. But I was handling that application, that tool. Or let me tell you very clearly. This was about rooms booking. Okay. So where the most important client meetings were missed out because the rooms were not available. Because that point of back, this is about 20 years back. Okay. In fact, that was my first year. Everybody came. They said, this person didn't book. This meeting was important. This client is our, $1 billion client, and he didn't give me the room on that day. Everybody came up with these kind of problems. You know what he did? He listened to everybody. But after that, he just sat. He looked at me and he looked at others and he said, there are some spaces available. Infosys is a sprawling campus with, beautiful sceneries. We have meditation areas, we have swimming pools, we have meeting rooms, we have halls which are not used most of the times. But meeting rooms are very less. He looked at everybody and he said only one thing. Can we look at these 5 different possibilities? We'll dedicate this swimming pool area for one activity. We'll transform this big room into half the room. You put the curtains, even if nobody is sitting, that's fine. You make the round table, and that. Almost everybody was shocked. We have so much of space, and we could actually do that. Right? This is a 50 acres campus. In this Shanti Sarovar 34 acres, you can see so many spaces. But in that, you see buildings. But in buildings also, you can find out. Imagine he never pinpointed who was wrong, who was right, or whose problem was most important, or which client was important. He went out of the box and he gave a solution because he took a pause in between so many people talking so many things. Right? So that's a real life example of taking a pause while you are in IT. Similarly, all of you will have seen. So we have done this few seconds together. Eyes softly open, mind settling, and simply we have arrived here. For those of you who have arrived late, we'll do this exercise again towards the end. And not as a body we walked in, but as a soul. A point. I asked you a question. What question was it? How are you sitting? Right? And you thought that my posture may not be good. How are you sitting here? in the mind? Are you relaxed? Are you comfortable? Have you actually taken a pause of not thinking? Believe me, I have come to this campus more than 1,000 times because my breakfast, lunch, and dinner was here because 21 years I served with Infosys. And each time I came here, I could feel the difference because I can feel the vibes. So we'll talk a little about vibes also and how these vibes are the leakage. So when you pause, you know what is leakage? We think. Even while you're looking at me, your mind may go to the email that you want to send tomorrow, or you want to pick up somebody, or what is the food that you will have. That's a leakage. Somebody's really feeling bad about their health, their money, their position, and that is hurting them, or probably just miscommunication or no communication with their relatives, and that's actually hurting you. That is a leakage. And a pause is something which fills that leakage of negative thoughts, because leakage drains the soul. Did I do something? Leakage drains the soul. उठिए ठीक है automatically it will come. Okay, all of you got it? So one most important is the leakage of thoughts. We all are people who create vibes, and the vibration is something which we catch. Do you know you can feel uncomfortable? Do you know you can feel uncomfortable without talking, without speaking, without seeing anybody also? Do you know? Or I'll give you an example. When you travel from one city to other city, or one part of the city to the other part of the city, or when you are traveling or when you are flying, not just jet lag, you actually feel headache when you come to different cities. Correct? You actually need rest, whether you have traveled in train, bus, or flight. You know why? Vibration of a particular place is different from the vibration of another place. But you don't feel that in the places which you like to go, especially for an excursion, or let me call those places as places filled with greenery, places which are hilltops. Why? Plants have very low vibrations, very peaceful vibrations. Plants grow in peace. Have you seen plants just growing like this in 1 day, 2 days? Right? It takes its own time. Right? Mountains. When you go on top of the mountain, the noise level becomes less. Has anybody gone to any mountain top and heard the noise of the village? No, right? Because at that vantage point, you don't hear anything because they're silent. So that is the place that I want you to do. Okay. So, yeah. So this quote, so I joined Brahma Kumaris with these beautiful quotes. And I think it's taking time. It is also taking a pause. So this is something which we really want to understand, that this pause is different. Okay. Next, in a day-to-day life, what kind of pauses that we need to take? There are three things. I've given this, and it isn't the accelerator or the horsepower, it is the brakes. Siddharth was right. All of us were right. But Siddharth was absolutely right. And it relates to the session. Every altitude mountain road. Here, Baba or Shiv Baba, this is the word that we use frequently. And Shiv is nothing the Supreme Soul. You might want to, remember that in that way. But even if you don't remember, it's perfectly fine. I know it's difficult because maybe the technology is not working. But take a pause, and probably the technology is telling us wait, listen, assimilate, and don't just get disturbed. Why this is happening? Correct? Because we are reacting, right? A brake that hesitates even by a second on a sharp turn makes an accident inevitable. A pause is our mental break. Yeah? I'm going to ask you questions in between or towards the end. Thought leakage. Every thought carries a vibration. A wasteful or negative thought is the leakage of the soul's power, spent on something that serves neither our growth or anyone else's growth. So, can I request all of you, at least till when is this session? 8, 7:45, 8. We have 45 minutes. Is this clock time correct? Yeah. So we have 45 to 50 minutes. Yes. Can I request you to not think? It is very difficult. It's very, very difficult. But just think about the topic. Just think about yourself. Just think about the beautiful moments. I'll give you enough and more time, and probably we'll play some music also. I hope you have saved that bit by bit, and we have some Hindi song also. How many of you love, how many of you want English song in between? Okay, one, two. How many of you want Hindi song in between? Super. But we'll have both. First, the Hindi in popular demand. Okay, I'll tell you when. So, this practice of self mastery, just a 1 second of soul consciousness, enough to shift from reaction to awareness. And all of you, can I tell you one thing? Brahma Kumaris is not about teaching a religion, it is not about anything else. It is about some common principle everybody in the world should learn. And it was there in our scriptures, it was there in all those leaders of the world, thought leaders of the world who have changed the way. And you know what they did? Master over the self, not master over others. Can I, like the CEO, can I just think of the answer which I want to bring onto the table? Okay. And shift from reaction to awareness. So, this is I am a peaceful soul, not this reacting mind. Can I do a test? Yeah? All of you are with me? Definitely? Sure? Yeah? Can I take some volunteers with whom I can do test? Who are literally listening to me or who are in this session and their thoughts are mostly to in this room? So I find, sometimes expression. This is a very important seat, And not because this seat is like this. Even if you bring that seat here, it's very important. Because this is the place you can actually know and feel what others are doing. So I have found one volunteer here. Anybody else would like to volunteer from this side? Okay. So I'm going to appreciate a person and I'm going to check the other person's thought. What's your name? Vinay. This is a very serious session and it's a Brahma Kumari session where, people will sit very comfortably, but, they maintain some pose and some, you were sitting very casually, Vinay. What do you have to say about it? Anything that comes into your mind, you can say. Answer me. Did Vinay react, respond, or did he take a pause? What's your name? Megha is literally listening to me. Anybody else has any other answer? I have already given an answer. Remember the question that I asked you? I know he will answer. That's why I asked him. Otherwise, he would have just taken a pause and smiled. Right? You sit in any way that you feel like. We are living in a world where we are conscious. I am conscious about what dress I am wearing. I am a speaker. I shouldn't sit like this. I shouldn't. Whatever. I might have some ailment. I may be more comfortable sitting like this. It's okay. But how is my state of mind? Okay? I hope all of you got the answer. Yes? He didn't react. I mean, it was not a bad answer, but he responded. And the best part is he responded with a beautiful smile. And he didn't change the pose also. A little he changed. Yeah? Legs were like this, it became like that. But what is it that I wanted? Because we are used to telling that physical feature, right? I want him to sit in the same way, the way he was sitting. That's it. Which probably he was doing. What's your name? Tulsi. Tulsi. Let's try with him. I felt you are a girl initially. Thank you for clarifying. Otherwise, I would have imagined something else. So, what do you have to say about this statement and my response to your name? She's literally listening to me. Correct? She doesn't want to be judgmental. Why do we keep judging? Do you know? When you travel, especially in a crowded place, or when you're sitting in a crowded area, or on a dining table itself, okay? Nobody is telling anything, but suddenly somebody is making noise, or somebody is not eating properly, or somebody is behaving in a way which that person should not do in that particular setting. A person who is having a lot of thoughts. How is he sitting? How is he eating? Why is he here having a earphone? Why isn't he having a earphone in a metro? Why is he staring here when the session is here? All these thoughts are leakage. All these thoughts are running in your mind. And suddenly it bursts out that, hey, look at this place. Look at this thing. Or I never imagined that you will tell me a he or a she. It was okay for her. So Tulsi is like that Tulsi plant. Literally. But again, I can still test to what extent. No, she said no. You know why? You know how I wanted to test? That pause is just not to stop the leakage of negative thoughts, the leakage of very positive thoughts also. You are awarded, you got promoted, you've got 1 crore rupees, and suddenly you are overwhelmed by that thought and you behave. I keep appreciating Tulsi for the rest of my session. She'll keep laughing, she'll keep smiling. No, that is also not required. Because that's also, how much will she laugh? And that people will have cramps in their stomach also. But tomorrow, if I don't appreciate Tulsi, she'll feel hurt. So stay stable in both the situations. That's when you take a pause. You enjoy. You enjoy the conversation. You enjoy. You like it. But that doesn't mean you stop smiling, okay? What you're doing is perfect. And what you have done also is absolutely right in a normal scenario. Because this, I feel, based on the topic, not everybody comes. And especially on a rainy day. If you have come here, it was purpose. And this purpose was destined in the drama. None of us meet by chance. There is some learning which I need to take from you, and there's some learning which you need to take from this session, from this campus, from this little pause. And that's when the journey starts. So, my journey, I may say 32 years, but I'm telling you, when I took this session, and this is going to be the beginning of my series of sessions that I'm going to start in schools, colleges, and institutions, and the corporate world. Just pause. I'll tell you why. I'm on a break. Last year, I did some $400,000 business. It's a small business that I did in Infosys, which was an L&D business, teaching AI to our clients. And it was burnout for me. Last 32 years, I've not been hospitalized. I've not had an ailment, but I got diabetes. Diabetes is lifestyle. Not because I had too much of sweets, not because I had some personal issues at home, which I had. But last year, that was not the issue. Not because I lost some of my family members, 2, 3 of them last whole year. No, it was because of overthinking. I was working 16 hours and there were so many leakage of thoughts. The leakage of thoughts, how it was? Me and my manager, only 2 of us, we did this business in our department. Okay. So my manager, she, one fine morning, she was, Brijesh, today in the sleep also, there's a name of a company, Rakuten, okay, which is like Amazon of Japan. And we were teaching their leadership also. And we were getting $100,000 only from that company. I'm just quoting you. I don't record this. Okay. Oh, I think it is getting recorded. I hope I'll ask someone to cut it. Okay. And this manager also, she was telling, Brijesh, today I was dreaming this company. I was literally using these words in my sleep also. I was also dreaming many days how this will become nice, because I'm on a little on an optimistic side and a positive side, but I'm dreaming that. Why? Okay. So I also had burnout. So even after 32 years, even after teaching thousands of people this, so I said, let me practice what I'm preaching. And with my practice, I want to spread this word for the rest of the community. My world. So my world is, what's my world? It's not the people whom we see around. It's not the news that we listen. Trump is not my world. Iran is not my world. Pakistan is not my world. People whom I'm interacting day in and day out. Today, till 8 o'clock, you are my world. Right? So how am I comfortable with you? And how much are you comfortable with me? Is our world. When you go back home, people whom you start interacting. In fact, it's more about the people or situations or circumstances or about yourself. What you're thinking more is your world. Not the Cockroach Janta Party. Correct? And literally, I was a victim of that. I usually don't get into Um See, this is also one leakage of a negative thought which I got, because I usually don't see social media. Somebody told me, okay, I clicked on with, and then again it started coming. Second reel, third reel, you know, our social media handlers and platforms and all that. You just speak or you just look at something for a longer period of time, the same reels keeps coming. But I'm also smart. I have also learned AI. I have been teaching AI. So what I do, I quickly switch to, but I wasted 3 hours. I'm telling you, literally wasted 3 hours listening to the views of so many different. I understood what is the crux. I know they are also right at one point of time, but they are, I mean, when the masses come, it is different. And when the leaders decide, it's different. And how you will have also heard, most of the important decisions were made in silence when they were paused. Example, just giving from my thought process. Amit Shah didn't respond immediately. Correct? Or probably even the seniors, they don't respond the way the followers are responding. They are all educated people and they're choosing their words to respond. Correct? So that's how. So again, I'm coming back from my leakage of that thoughts to this. So this is where I see we should all take this mini breaks in our daily life. So I'll tell you, first break when you should take. Early morning, as soon as you get up. We all rush into things. Let's say you have to go to office at 9 o'clock. You're getting up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You have to pack the tiffins of yourself or your family members and then rush to get some things. Can I request you now to take a pause? Instead of getting 6 o'clock, get up 5 minutes to 6. Or 5:30, half past 5. Sip a cup of coffee or tea just for half an hour. Try not to think of what you have to do today. Just take a pause and imagine some good things that is going to happen today. Don't look at your mobile phone. Digital detox for first half an hour. Don't look at the newspaper. Don't look at anybody else. सुबह सुबह मैंने इसका मुंह देख लिया. नहीं, देखना ही नहीं है. मुझे मेरा मुंह देखना है. मुझे मेरा आईना देखना है. That doesn't mean literally go to the bathroom and see how I am looking. It is, how is my state of mind? How many good, beautiful thoughts you have had? Okay. I have started personally by looking at the garden. I have started physically and then mentally. So I also take up coffee and I take half an hour time and I read something spiritual. But before that reading itself, I start the day. So traffic light pause. Before replying to a sharp email or a sharp word, one conscious breath during the day. But first traffic light is I am going to start my day on a single note of peace. And what's that single thought of peace? I don't need peace from anywhere else. I don't need peace music. I don't need peaceful words. I am originally peaceful. This is a reality. This is the first lesson we are taught. Much before you reach God also. Much before you remember God. Second, this is the Amrit Vela we call. Okay. 5 silent minutes before sunrise, connecting to the soul, to the Supreme Soul. This is an extra charge. It is like the double engine. When you go uphill, and there are many places, when there are too many loads of compartments, or I should say, uh, too much of load is there for any vehicle. Let's say train, it will have two engines. So sometimes the Supreme Soul becomes an added advantage. And why the Supreme Soul? Because my school of thoughts, Shiv means Kalyankari, and you could call him God, Ishwar, Allah, anything. He only thinks of good things about others. He doesn't see everybody's mind. Is my mind presentable to God? No. It is filled with so much of dirt and waste thoughts. That's why not everybody gets touchings. Not everybody gets an opportunity to come to Shanti Sarovar or sit in silence in silence rooms here, or probably sit in a session like this. You're all privileged. You all are not ordinary souls. Mark me. I know my worth, but I know your worth also. And none of you, I mean, all of you are much, much powerful, greater than 1 crore souls in Hyderabad. Believe me. Why? Because probably this session was for you. Probably I got this thought from some higher source to the source which was asking me to take a session. And then some higher thought gave me this topic. And we are all here together. And believe me, we'll create a beautiful world like this when we meet next time. And in few years, few months, or few moments, why all that? Towards the end of this session, we will create a very powerful peace moment here in 1 second, or exactly in 1 minute. In 1 minute also, it will be only that 1 or 2 seconds. And that is when meditation happens. For example, all of you sleep. Most of us sleep for at least 6 to 8 hours. Some of us 10 hours. Do you know how much is the actual time of relaxation in that? It's only minutes. I will tell you a proof. You can check your proof. If you are getting dreams, you're not sleeping. If you're turning in your bed, you're not sleeping. If there is a crease in your bed, you're not sleeping. Actual sleep is you sit, your head, your hair, if it is crumpled or it is left, right, straight, that means you are not sleeping. Actual sleep, actual sound sleep is as you sleep, so you get up. Our next head of Brahma Kumaris, after the founder, she used to teach all the seniors, this is how, and they literally saw that. And it was just not, she was Jagdamba Saraswati, we called her, but she fondly was called Mamma. We have seen Baba as Brahma Baba also. But it was just not our school of thoughts or this heads of this organization. Mahatma Gandhi, just before a rally, he said, this is no time to, Jawaharlal Nehru, I think, or somebody told, this is no time to sleep. In 5 minutes, you have this. Exactly for 3 minutes, he snored and he got up in next 4 minutes because nobody had the guts to wake him up, right? A leader, nobody will do that, correct? But he literally slept. And the same thing, some of you are going to sleep today when I'm going to do that commentary exactly after 10 minutes. And the commentary will also be for 5 to 10 minutes. But in that also, it will be only that one moment where you will actually learn the pause. You will enjoy that pause. But only thing what you have to do is increase that. Start with the day. During the day, traffic light. This is the first thing that you should do. But this is what you have to do. And it's just not email or a sharp word. How many couples are there? Yeah. Do you think you can take a challenge till the next Sunday evening talk? Not react. Take a pause and think what is a good answer that you could give. So that not because you have won the argument or you have won the situation, because you have not had the leakage of negative thoughts in your mind. Because you have kept yourself in that beautiful, comfortable stage of peace, which is your home state, which is your home stage, which is your original stage, which is our original stage. When we were kids, we were just like that. Just today only, I gave this beautiful example to somebody. I know this small little girl right in front of her house. Every day we play with her also. Today I was telling hi. She didn't respond. She was just staring at me. She didn't want to respond. Right? And you see, many toddlers are like that. When they want, they will respond. When they don't want, they will not respond. That's their choice. We ignore them, right? But if some elders do like that, I attended his 1 hour class and I told hi to Brijesh and he didn't respond. How mean of him. Or I spoke to Tulsi, I spoke to Vinay, I spoke to Siddharth. And when I went to his company, he didn't even look at me. Not required, right? We become judgmental. Originally, we have to learn from children. We are originally very peaceful, very inside we are quiet. And this we can see from elders also, some rishis, munis, or when you see our directors or some of them, when they're sitting here, not when they're giving a message, when they're just sitting here. Dadi Janki, you could research about her. She was that kind of a personality. So she started all the services in the rest of India, okay, and she didn't know English at that point of time. And there was always a translator. But one of the speech when Sister Jayanti, who was her lead translator, so that day she was not supposed to speak anything. So she just sat on the chair next to her and she gave a wonderful speech and people clapped. When the Q&A answer came, the time when they had to have a Q&A, the first lady, somebody like, what's her name? Somebody like Megha, sitting in the first bench, said, Sister Jayanti, while your session was absolutely good and it was heart touching, but how can I become like her? She got those vibes. That is the stage when we say that elders also are in a stage of pause or relaxation, non-judgmental, and you feel those vibes. And who are these people? They are our neighbors also, very good friends with whom you just want to sit, not talk. There are many elder parents and small little grandson or granddaughter. You're not talking in the park. An unknown person in a train or a plane, you had a conversation, but then you want to give that space to that person. Correct? It happens? Yes? That is real pause. And evening, the churning pause. A few minutes at the day's end, not reviewing actions, but reviewing which thoughts were allowed to accelerate unchecked. Which thoughts I could have put a break? Which thoughts I could have stopped the leakage? So next, tomorrow, I will try to apply that break. And that break has to be very powerful. Can I check your breaks now? Yes? Looking at me. How many of you can tell one good sentence or word about me? 45 minutes I've spent, right? Yes? No, I don't want you to tell. But I'm asking, how many of you can tell? Yes? How many of you don't wish to tell? I told you, no? He is my best friend. There are some telepathic messages also that happens. So sometimes you don't tell by actually telling or responding. While you can actually tell towards the end, because I've also been using voice. Okay. But when you don't want to tell, but you are conveying the message as yes. So I've made another good friend. I made another good friend. I made 2 telepathic friends. I know they are assimilating more than what I am teaching also. And there may be many of you who are deeply connected with what I am trying to speak, and you are creating your own story of the power of pause. And that power is very important. That power can stop the leakage of thoughts. That power can give you a lot of space, a lot of time. That power will elevate your stage into growing, both materialistic, physical growth, professional growth, and most important, spiritual growth. Correct? So, so towards the end, so from the Brahmakumari spirit, the one who masters the self needs no other kingdom. Self-sovereignty is the truest freedom. We just had 15th August, right? In fact, we got the freedom also because of this thought which Gandhiji had. And it is there in our scriptures also. All of you? Yeah? Gita. If you can rule yourself as in rule your thoughts. If you can have control of your thoughts, you can control everybody else's thoughts. You can rule the world. My first quotations, I came into Brahmakumaris because of quotations. And I like these beautiful quotations. Silence is not only the absence of sound, but the stillness of the mind. Give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you don't have time to criticize others. Truth. The moment you try to prove truth, it no longer remains truth. Have you heard this statement? हिंदी में तो सुना होगा ना, आप सच को जितना प्रूव करना जाओगे उतना वो सच से दूर होते जाएगा, क्योंकि सच को प्रूव करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो अपने समय में अपने टाइम में अपने आप सिद्ध हो जाता है. करेक्ट? So silence is not the absence of words, it is the absence of waste. Exactly relates to this, the power of pause and the leakage. A single thought of peace held steady ripples outward further than we can see. And this is what we are going to have a song also towards the end. To pause is not to stop moving forward. It is to move forward from truth, not from reaction. Okay. So this is for those who have come later. I will show the slides again after this beautiful experience that we are going to have. So do you want a small music before or after? A silent song, a song before or after? I'm just open for your. Before? English or Hindi first? हिंदी. तो वो जो शांति के शक्ति वाला है ना, वो वाला. And this music also, you will see, it has a very beautiful meaning. And I want you to reflect something based on the music. And then you can hum that also. Or you can sing in your own mind later. And I used AI to give you some of these thought process. I hope the going is good. You are enjoying the moments of pause and the silence until the music starts. So notice the words used. Shanti, which is peace, not as silence or retreat, but as Shakti, a power. And that you will see in the next 10 minutes. How this actually power will make your entire body relax, will make your mind get into Anand stage, Ati Indriya Sukh stage. And this is not like a fragile gas vase that breaks the moment traffic jam comes. It doesn't break when the deadlines pile up. It doesn't when someone speaks harshly to us. Shanti बहुत important है. It's a power we have to use. When to use, how to use. That I'm going to teach you now in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Are we all ready? Okay. And for the rest of you who would like to have, we can have a recap of this also. There may be disturbance. There may be some children walking in, walking out. No problem. Let them come. There may be some noise. Even the noise of the AC will also disturb you. It's okay. Just make it into a rhythm and put it in all together. What is more important, the noise that comes from your thoughts, that has to be silenced. So, are we all ready? Keep your mobile phones on silent mode and, if possible, on switched off mode. All those who have this superpower to do that exactly for 10 minutes. Because I'm going to have really telepathic communication with some lost friends, some lost relatives, some lost, in fact, all the followers or bhakts, or, we may be gods to so many people. Let's give them all those vibrations. We are literally going to do that. But before we do that, we are going to take that power from our own pause, from our own silence. And the next, another engine, the Supreme, and our own eternal home, which is the best place everybody in the world wants every day, their bed. Correct? Everybody wants sleep. That is the safest, that is most comfortable position. And there they want silence. So today, I'm going to take you to in that silence. And even if your neighbor is snoring, even if somebody is going for sleep, don't worry. They are in the first steps of meditation. Okay? So don't worry. Most of my sessions, most of my leaders actually sleep and snore also. Don't just worry. So let's sit in whatever comfortable position. Okay? Legs apart, legs stretched. You've taken the support of the back. Best is to keep your spine straight, head erect, but do it whichever way. And we are going to play a game of statue. Girls and boys who have just entered with their parents, you are literally going to play a game of statue with us. Okay? You know how to play a game of statue, children? No part of your body should move. Just for 5 minutes. Let's see. If you're keeping your eyes open, for the rest of you also, I will request you all to keep your eyes closed. We'll do this open-eyed also exactly after 5 minutes. Let us see whose body will not move. This is for the children. Elders, automatically it will happen. Imagine yourself exactly the same way you came into the room, as points of light, energies. Your thoughts were those energies. And you are going to use this power of thought to relax your entire body and then get into the thoughtless stage. Definitely we'll not reach that stage, but at least we'll reach to a stage where we have one determined thought. And a collective thought that we want is that of peace. Let peace prevail in this room, in everybody's mind. So let me start. Let me feel relaxed in the legs, toe touching the ground. I feel relaxed when my thighs and the back are taking the rest full pose with the chair. Now I am diverting my thoughts towards my heart and my breathing. Let me slow down my breathing. Let it be very slow and long breath. Inhale positivity, positive thoughts, thoughts of relaxation, thoughts of not thinking. And exhale all negativity. Do it twice or thrice, but without making noise. This is another tool to increase your longevity. The tortoise lives longer than the canines who as you listen to your heartbeat, you are going inside your body. Shift your attention to your fingertips. You can feel the flow of the blood from the tip of your finger to hand, then to shoulders and the face. Controlling your entire body, keeping it in a stage of statue. Smile a little and let go. Come back to your original seat, a seat of peace and relaxation in the middle of your forehead, your temple. I feel I am hanging in the air 4 feet above the ground. Let me take a visual journey out of this beautiful, still, body like statue. But before I take this journey, let me forgive everyone who has hurt me in every way, including my own self. From the bottom of my heart, my accounts are absolutely cleared. I bless them to become their perfect selves. Just for a minute, let me thank everyone who has helped me reach this stage, reach this session, teach this concept, including God and my own self. Bless all these souls who have brought you here in your life till this stage. Your accounts are absolutely cleared. When you give them those blessings, it is like they have received everything what they wanted from you. With these two powerful thoughts, your baggage is empty. Now you can fly. Let's take a virtual, imaginary journey out of the body into this beautiful room. I can see so many statues sitting down, quiet and peaceful. Let me take a journey on top of this campus in this society called Gachibowli. Let me take a flight's journey, very light, with very little baggage. From near the clouds, I can see the whole city glowing and lit, but I cannot hear any sound. Let me go on top of this earth, giving positive thoughts which are in the form of feelings, which we call vibrations, to to every single element, every animal, every human being to remain quiet, peaceful, and just pause for a few moments until I take a journey out into space beyond the gravitational pull, like the rocket, towards our eternal home, a place where another engine is waiting, the supreme soul probably, or the supreme point of stillness. This is the place where we all have come from. This is the place where we originally were. This is the place where everybody who meditates, they want to reach this place, this stage of quietness, where there is unconditional love, absolute peace, and supernatural power. In this moment of dead silence, sweet silence, thanking your own self, thanking God, thanking facilitator. Take your own sweet time to slowly come back to this earth, giving these feelings of relaxation, peace, and happiness. Come back to this country, to this city, the campus. Come back into the room. Take your own sweet time to enter the body. Keep your body still. It is like the house of you, the soul, the energy, the point. Open the windows of your eyes, but don't move. How do you feel? You don't want to speak. For a few moments, you forgot whether it was cold or this. There are very less thoughts. You forgot the pain. You wanted to stay in that stage for a little longer time. Many of you actually slept. And when I asked you to get up, you actually got up. Yeah? It was good? Nice? Good. Even the children liked it. So they literally did that. And thank you, especially to the children. You participated so beautifully, especially the girl at the end. So this is how we relax. So the moment, see, in this whole 10 minutes of journey, and we have actually end this session, and it's my bio clock also tells me. So I'm going to just walk you through the slides once again. And before that, if you have any questions, and then Sister Jyoti will come and do her bit of maintaining the pause. And she said she was inspired, but I was inspired by her. And the pause, this little girl has actually asked me, to take. This is where you take. So So 1 minute. Do you have any questions? Do you want to say something? Do you want me to repeat any point? No. This is what happens when you actually reach a stage of silence, when you actually feel that pause. That power answers all the questions. The more you practice this pause, the more you'll be able to do. Today, the settings, the vibrations of the people meditating here, facilitator, God, and your own peaceful state of mind, you could reach that, point of silence. But more practice first thing in the morning, more practice during the day, probably every 1 hour. I mean, you can take as many breaks as loo break, water break, or we have this 20-20 rule. For after 20 minutes, look 20 meters away, look at some nature, look at your loved one, look at something which you like the most, and just pause. Stop thinking. That will charge you. And believe me, more than connecting with the soul, connecting with your own self in silence is much, much more important, or is the beginning of connection with everybody else and the telepathic conversation that you can have. And you can literally listen. Yesterday we heard there is one person. In fact, autobiography of yogi, you can see that what are the powers we had through meditation and through this pause. Okay, autobiography of yogi. All of you will have heard that. So yesterday that one sister, our class teacher, she was telling that there is one person who is so quiet, even if there are 1,000 people in front of him, he can tell you who is chatting what in his mind. Imagine how much of silence he will have gathered that he can listen to the people's vibes. And it's not that everybody can get it. It's just that we have so many other waste thoughts that we don't want to listen to our own self. Right? Okay. So I end here. And brother, can we just have another PPT? Yeah. So I'm just going to go through this. And in case you have any questions, or if some of you missed any point, and until Sister Jyoti also comes onto the stage. Yeah, you could actually come on the stage. Please. Yeah. It's the first PPT. I mean, it was the same thing, but maybe there were some extra points. Okay? So whenever you arrive, whichever place, arrive as a soul, not as a body. You remember the points that I told you? Check your brakes. Are you able to really put a full stop to your thoughts? And it is very difficult, I am telling you. It's very difficult. As I told you, can you stop thinking about me, looking at me? It's very difficult. Correct? Yeah? But Tulsi did it. She didn't want to. Okay? The kid did it. Yeah, that kid, I think the mother took her away. She was not interested in who is speaking. She was not interested in whether everybody is listening. She just spoke what she wanted to speak. Break test, thought leakage, vibrations. Just remember words. Everything else will frame into your mind. The story will come back to you. 1 second of soul consciousness. This is what is soul consciousness. I am telling you. What we actually saw. Because in soul conscious stage, you will not have. Did you feel the cold for that one moment? 1 moment when I told you? No, right? Did you feel the pain in any part of the body? Did you literally feel that you are coming out of the body? Did you feel the relaxation? Yes, that 1 second is important. Traffic light pause, Amrit Vela, evening churning pause. And my sister has come. She's telling, pause, Brijesh. It's over. So with some of these sisters who were my ex-colleagues, and they're still working in all the leading IT organizations. For example, she's working in Microsoft, and she's using the power of pause. She's working in TCS. She was with Infosys earlier, and she had conducted quite a few sessions for the leaders, I should say. And I am thankful to all the sisters and brothers who have given us this opportunity. And thank you all. Because of you, this session has actually happened. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brijesh Bhai, for the wonderful session. We could all experience ourselves and the inner stability that we have, the options we have to choose, right? So, thank you very much, Brijesh Bhai ji. And we will practice this whenever we are starting anything, we are responding to anything, we are stopping anything. We will try to use the pause.